Hey everybody, Jim Masters here. Welcome to the Jim Masters Show live. How you doing? How are things going for you? I hope you're having a great day. It is a pleasure to have you here. I am your host here. I'm the guy that they call Mr. Lovity. I've been deemed that name Mr. Lovity because we created the word Lovity a few weeks ago here on the show, and it was really cool. And everybody from around the world, when I said the word Lovity, because usually on this show we say light, love, and levity. The show is all about positive vibes. It's an entertainment lifestyle talk show series broadcasting around the world. We generate this show. We broadcast from the greater New York City area between New York and Boston in the United States. And a couple of weeks ago, I was saying light, levity, and love, and I screwed up and I said lovity, and everybody loved that word. Everybody was like, lovity, keep that word lovity, Jim. We love it. It's so perfect for the feeling and the positive vibe and the atmosphere of your show. We have amazing guests from the worlds of television, music, film, entertainment, Broadway, Hollywood, from the culinary arts, from science, from health and wellness. I'm a professional television and radio host. I've been doing this for a long time here in the United States. TV, radio personality, radio host and presenter, journalist, actor, voiceover narrator, writer, producer, stage MC. Been doing it for a long time for lots of networks and TV stations, radio stations, on camera and behind the scenes. And my very special guest, Damian McGinty, he and I go back a long way. We actually met when I interviewed him on PBS, which is public television in the United States, through Celtic Thunder. When Celtic Thunder was first formed, we had all the guys in from Celtic Thunder. And then as they brought in new people and some people moved off to solo careers, I've had an opportunity actually to interview every single member of Celtic Thunder, including Damian, on multiple occasions. And we just created a bond. You know, certain people through my work in television, we just stay connected. We stay hooked up. Damian and I have, Mairead Nesbitt and I have, Chloe Agnew and I have, Lisa Kelly and I have, and so many others. And it's really, really cool. So I told Damian I was doing this entertainment lifestyle talk show series, which we created 12 weeks ago out of our home studio here. Because normally, you know, I would be in a television studio, on a radio studio. I would be flying somewhere on location. But we created this cool thing called the Jim Masters Show Live. And we are live every night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And we do have a lot of viewers in Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, United States, Canada. It's really, really cool. And the show is expanded and blown up by leaps and bounds. But I told him, hey, I got this great show. We've got all these cool guests coming on. And even when we don't have a guest, though we are booked with guests all the way until October, I can't believe it. We are booked with guests almost every single night, all the way till October of this year. That's amazing. Thanks to everybody for all the love and the support and the tagging and sharing and having watch parties and telling everybody around the world, your friends, your family, your Facebook friends, your YouTube followers, Instagram, Twitter, to watch the show and just have a good time with us. And all of you are so amazing. Lots of beautiful people around the world who have been watching the show and really enjoying it and telling me that you're getting so much inspiration and positivity from this show. And that's what it's all about. So I told Damian, a couple of weeks ago, hey, Damian, we've got this show. And he said, well, Jim, I'd happy to be a part of it. You just tell me when and where, and I'll be there. So he's with me tonight. I'm going to have him here as my very special guest in just a moment. Hope everybody is doing well. I know we're living in crazy times. We've been talking about that a lot here on the show. It's been a little wacky lately, some of the things that have been going on, but I hope you guys are doing well. A couple of things we always do here on the Jim Masters Show Live. Again, it's all about light, levity, and love, or as we call it, lovity. We toast to everybody. We say hello, good evening, or good morning, or good day if you're watching in Australia. We have a lot of Australia fans as well. And we toast all of you. We welcome you to the show. We toast all of you. Well, I hope I don't spill this, huh? We toast all of you. We take a sip. We hope you have your beverage of your choice there with you as well. And again, here on the show, we have a lot of fun, right? That's what it's all about, especially now more than ever. People need to put smiles on their faces. So we're doing our best effort here with inspiration on our show. We go Hollywood. We spare no expense on the Jim Masters Show Live. So we do Lights, camera, action. The Jim Masters Show live begins right now. So we're doing that. Don't you just love that cool thing? This thing actually hangs on the wall. I took this off the wall in the house. It's a lot of the things we use as props come from the house. We live here along the coast, and we took stuff off the walls. I said, if I ever rename this show instead of the Jim Masters Show Live, I think we should just call it Off the Wall, because it basically is. Our buddy George Burns is here. There he is, legendary comedian George. He was on one of our nostalgic weeks we did a couple of weeks ago. We brought out childhood toys. I brought out all my baseball cards and Matchbox cars and board games and everything. And we brought out George. George was my Aunt Lillian's, and she collected him, I guess, when he turned 100. Got passed down to me by my Irish cousin Barbara. And there he is. So he greets everybody. He's got his cigar. Remember, he was in the movie Oh God, too. He played God. He's here. These are our cast of characters. If you're just watching for the first time, we have cast of characters like lots of professional hosts do. And that's what I am. So here we go. Jeannie's in here. You know, like Jimmy Jeannie, right? She's in the bottle and she sees all of you. It looks like it's 3D, doesn't it? She's in there. She greets all of you as well. And then when I was on a TV shoot in Europe and we were over towards Switzerland, we found this buddy. He's sort of our mascot for the show. There's Silver. The Silver, the canine. We had Hollywood legend Sky Arbery on a couple of nights ago. She fell in love with this Silver lab. He sees all of you and he greets all of you. Again, putting smiles on everybody's faces. And there's one more crazy cast of character we have here to put a smile on everybody's face. Jimmy. Now, some people are afraid of clowns, but don't worry about this. He was a childhood toy of mine from my parents with his blue feet and the whole bit. And Jimmy is here. Maybe we'll call him Seamus now, since it's Irish night here on the show with myself and Damian, that's for sure. Jimmy is here, and I think Jimmy will fill in when I'm not here if I'm on vacation. Not that you can really go anywhere right now, or from under the weather. I think I'll have Jimmy fill in. Pretty good, right? So Jimmy's here. If I don't show these cast of characters, everybody starts commenting. There's a ton of comments already. It's good to see all the action. People will comment and say, where's George? And where's Jeannie? And where's Silver? Where's Jimmy? So good to have you with us. And I hope you had a good day wherever you're watching around the world. Again, I am your host, Jim Masters. And it's always a pleasure to be here every night with you. I'm coming into your world. You're coming into my world. And it's a great relationship that we have with inspiring conversations and behind the scenes stories and on location segments. A lot of times I take, everything out of the house and we go on location. Great guests, special features, lots of viewer interaction. And again, this is the show where Lovity is on the air. And again, Damian is going to be joining me in just a minute. First, what we do is we like to greet all of our viewers around the world. And this is a big show for Willie, who's watching in Holland. Now, she's got 50. The reason why she's writing that, this is the 50th show in a row that she has watched of the Jim Masters Show Live. 50 shows. She hasn't missed a single show. And the other kicker is right now it's 11 minutes after 1 a.m. in Holland, in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands, where she is. And she doesn't miss a single show. She takes naps in the day if she remembers to. Sometimes she doesn't even take naps and she stays up all day until our show starts. So happy 50th anniversary to you, Willie. That's loyalty. That's faithfulness. We love you. And there's your Dutch tulips just for you, Willie. Thanks for your loyalty. 50 shows in a row. We've been on for 12 weeks, but 50 shows, and you've not missed one, and they're on at 1 a.m. in Holland. Thank you. You're a true blessing. And congratulations, Willie. We will celebrate you the rest of the week. Hello, Jim, just got home in time. Perfect. You're in Innerkip, Ontario, Canada. We welcome you as well. And hope you had a good day as well, Merlin. Orfino, welcome to the show. Orfino, good to have you here. Can't wait for Damian. He is here. Damian is in our very luxurious green room having champagne and lobster and chocolate and fine cheeses that we've provided him. Maybe not. I'm in my house. He's probably in his. It's the new reality. Greetings, Jimbo, from Christopher in Ohio. Good to see you as well, Christopher. Thanks for joining us. Linda Odell. I'm sure you're excited. There's a lot of Irish in the house tonight between me and Damian. Linda Odell. Good evening, Mr. Lovity. Good evening, everybody. So love Celtic singing. Oh, yes. and you're in Florida. Renee is in Iowa. She's our viewer of the week, so she's still got that crown on, celebrating her as viewer of the week. Good to see you, Renee. Thanks for all of your posting and watch parties and tagging and sharing that you've been doing. That just helps the show continue to grow by leaps and bounds. Good evening, Ralph, watching in Indiana. Good to see you as well, my friend. I hope you're having a great day and hope things are going well where you are as well, Ralph. Thanks for everything that you do as well in support of the show. That's very, very appreciated. Kathy Short, good evening, Jim, from Cleveland, Ohio. I was just there about a year ago on a TV shoot, and I fell in love with Cleveland. What a cool city. Really, really cool. And we went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. My friend's mother is a 60s rock music legend, and she's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so we got a chance to go visit it. Really, really cool. Good to see you in Cleveland, Kathy. Marsha Murphy Watson, hello, Raleigh, North Carolina. Good to see you. Welcome to the show. We're here every night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. We stream and simulcast on YouTube at Jim Masters TV. I encourage you to go over to the channel and subscribe to it. We love that. YouTube loves it too. That's at Jim Masters TV. And also here at Facebook on Jim Masters TV as well. Willie in Holland saying hello to everybody. And Orfino is saying hello, D. White. So we got a lot of new folks that are here, as well as our regulars. Kathleen Walker in New York City. Good to see you, Kathleen. I hope your mom is doing well. Hope you're having a good week. Mom is still smiling about the birthday greeting. Yes, I sang her happy birthday in my alto voice, and it was really great. Your mom, Elvira, celebrating her 86th birthday. It's her birthday week, so we still raise a glass to your mom. Linda Hutchinson watching in Alabama, USA. Good to see you, Linda, as well. You haven't missed a show either. Kathleen saying hello to everybody. Jennifer Barry, she's excited. Oh, yeah, she's got those colors there, the green, the white, and the red. Hello, Jennifer. Thanks to have you great to have you with us, and thanks for being here. Julia, looking good. Love that profile photo. You're watching on YouTube on Jim Masters TV. And Becky is here from Maine. Hey, Becky, welcome. Good to have you with us. Jim Masters TV. Want to let you know on Saturday night, we have another show tomorrow. It's going to be a host chat tomorrow. Saturday, we have an award-winning actor on, Sean Kanan. He played A.J. Quartermain on the soap opera General Hospital on ABC for years. A.J. Quartermain was a great role, and he's a great actor. He's in California, and he's doing all kinds of cool stuff. You've seen him in movies. You've seen him on television shows, including General Hospital. He's going to be here Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Good to see you, Becky. Welcome to the show. Pamela is in Virginia. We're doing well. We're having a good time. We've got Damian joining us, good friend, very talented guy. Speaks from the heart. He's a really cool guy, and he's just really, really, his star has risen significantly because he really cares about what he does, and he cares about his fans, just like I do, as you guys know through my work. Good to see you, Pamela. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Hello, Renee, Ernestine in North Carolina. Hope you guys are doing well. We had a big storm roll through here just a couple of hours ago. Thunder, lightning, whipping winds. Christine Fairwood in Connecticut. Good to see you. Hi, Jim and Peeps. And Jim, being a Brit, I watch PBS all the time. It's wonderful being a Brit. Yes, the Masters family come from the Yorkshire, England area. My father's mother's side, they came straight from Ireland, and they settled in New York City. That's where our Irish roots come from on that side of the family. Avril, good to see you there. Speaking of the United Kingdom, good to see you there in Hampshire. Hi, Jim, everyone on the show. Had a very hot day there in England, huh? You love the show. Thank you very much. And thanks for telling all of your friends there in the UK about the show. We're here every night. Cool guests. Every show is something different. Pamela loves the show. We love you, Pamela. Anne is watching. Hello, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful day. You too. Anne is watching in SoCal, Southern California. And you've been here just about every night. Willie is toasting 50 shows in a row. We've got Mary Ellen Sullivan. If that's not Irish, I don't know what is. Good to see you, Mary Ellen. Ernestine, Merlin. This is unbelievable in terms of so many people toasting and having a good time. Prost, yes, that's how they say it there in Netherlands. Cheers, Mr. Liberty. Ching, ching. Comments galore here. You're raising your glass of wine. That's fantastic. Wow, I can't believe all these comments. We're going to get ready to welcome Damian in just a second here. You're having your H2O, ching. Yeah, Sláinte, that's right. Cheers with your Jameson Irish whiskey, a very good choice. Or a little Bailey's Irish cream on the rocks, that's always good. Christine, iced tea. Kathy's cheering. Christopher loves silver. Pamela loves silver. And couple more here. Oh, Angeli, brand new. Welcome to you. I wonder where you're watching, Angeli. Well, we've had people from Barcelona, from Brazil watching as regulars. Orfino from Canada. Good to see you in Canada. What part of Canada, Orfino? And Tara watching in Connecticut on YouTube at Jim Masters TV. That is fantastic. We welcome you. Really a lot of beautiful comments here. Amanda, greetings, Jim and Damian. Look forward to the show. Amanda, welcome. Good to have you here. Hello from Kentucky, Brian Bowman. Good to see you in Kentucky as well. Jesse, watching in the Philippines. Good to see you in the Philippines. We welcome you from the Philippines. That is absolutely beautiful. Irish show, Jim O. Masters. Yes, absolutely. Jennifer is Irish and Scottish, English on your daddy's side, Italian on your mom's side. That's quite a mix. I'm English, Irish, Swedish, and French. That's an interesting mix too, huh? Freezing up a bit where you are. Sherry, first time tuning in from Maria Stein, Ohio. Nice to see you in Ohio. And Bernardo is watching. My pleasure for having Damian on the show. He's all excited to be here. We're excited to have him. Coffee morning. Yeah, it's morning in Manila where you are. Dee is here, your very first show. Welcome, Dee White. And we all thank you, both Damian and myself. We'll split that 50-50. And first show too. Good to have you here. And stay well, everybody. And Valerie's watching from California. Good to see you, Valerie, as well. So glad to have you here. Welcome to the show. That is our official welcome that we do with our cast of characters and all the different things we do to welcome everybody and make you feel good and just to have a good time with us here on the show. So we're going to welcome my fantastic friend, Damian. Just want to show you a couple of pictures for you folks. Like I said, he and I have known each other for a long time. This actually was a cool shot. We were filming this for PBS. This was a national Celtic Thunder special. And there's the whole gang from Celtic Thunder. You see everybody there, and you see Damian is right next to Colm. He's in between Colm and Neil, and then there's me, and then you've got Emmett, and you've got Keith, and you've got Ryan, and me, and my co-host Lee. We're there. Some other cool shots over the years, of course, Keith and Colm and myself and Damian. This was backstage. In addition to hosting on television, I also MC a lot of concerts, and there were several times I've MC'd the Celtic Thunder concerts. And this was also in the studio as well at PBS, and there's Ryan Kelly and Damian. We were filming a national special. This was backstage when Damian was getting ready to perform. I was MCing that night as well. So really cool memories here of some really great times where we've had some cool times with our buddy Damian on television and on stage together. And of course, the gang from Celtic Thunder. And of course, he was on Glee, but he also has a brilliant solo career. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about him. He's got a wonderful background, and he's just a real class act as well. It is my pleasure to welcome my buddy Damian to the show. He's going to be sharing some music with us too, just so you know. He's 27 years old, singer-songwriter, actor, of course, as we know, born in Derry, Northern Ireland. His career began at the age of 13 when he recorded a charity CD, and his unmistakable talent and charisma quickly captivated him and captivated everybody else, catapulted him into fame and success. Selected in 2007 by producer Sharon Brown. And Sharon is wonderful. I've met Sharon on multiple occasions through all of the Celtic performances, and musical director, the legendary and brilliant performer and arranger, composer, Phil Coulter. I mean, if you're going to be picked out of the hat by Sharon Brown and Phil Coulter, you've got some good things happening here. And that's what happened to Damian. He was picked to join the inaugural cast of Celtic Thunder. Damian quickly became a fan favorite for his friendly charm, his deep baritone voice. If you haven't heard Damian speak lately, you should hear how low his voice has gotten. Yeah, he's lucky. He's like me. As time goes on, our voices are lowering, which is a very cool thing. Following his own advice to dream big, Damian took his career to the next level by auditioning for the Oxygen Network's The Glee Project in 2011. Out of 40,000 auditioners, Damian was chosen to appear on the show with only 11 other hopefuls. That's really cool. Extreme dedication and an intense work ethic took him to the final four, and ultimately he was chosen as one of two winners. That's really amazing. As a winner of the project, Damian landed a guest star role in Fox's hit television series Glee as foreign exchange student Rory Flanagan. Initially slated to appear in just 7 episodes, Damian was so popular, his role was extended to finish out the rest of season 3. Now, Damian also self-produced and a wonderful titled EP in late 2012, and the 5-track album raced up the iTunes chart to hit number 3 in the United States, as well as number 1 in Ireland, Mexico, and Peru, selling more than 20,000 units to date. In 2013, Damian was busy back with public television. First, he worked with former Celtic Thunder castmate Paul Byrom, who I've had an opportunity to interview multiple times as well, in Paul's PBS special, This Is the Moment. And then he appeared with child prodigy, another incredible friend who I've interviewed multiple times, and I think he's going to be popping on the show here too soon, Ethan Bortnick. On Ethan's, he's a real child prodigy, Ethan's own special, The Power of Music, which went on to be the #1 show on PBS at that time. To the great delight of eager fans, Damian toured across the United States with Ethan in the spring and fall of 2014 tours of The Power of Music. 2015 brought Damian back to perform with Celtic Thunder as a special guest on the Very Best of Celtic Thunder tour, which led into 2016, one of Damian's busiest years yet. He spent much of the year working on his first solo full-length CD, This Christmas Time, which he released in October. The CD reached number 2 on Billboard's World and Holiday charts, which is amazing. And the CD and individual songs were featured on numerous iTunes charts, both national and international. And that year, he also somehow found time to travel to Australia to tour with Celtic Thunder in the spring 2016 tour and join up with them again for a 70. I remember they were telling me about this. Matter of fact, it was the night that I introduced them on stage for one of the public television related shows. They were telling me they were going on 72 city tour, 72 North American cities. Unreal. And they did it. And then he set off on his own for his first solo tour in December to promote that new Christmas CD. Amazing. In early 2017, fellow Derry native actress Roma Downey, who's wonderful. I just saw her at Carnegie Hall because I MC at Carnegie Hall for another dear friend, Tim Janis, the composer. He puts on this beautiful holiday concert every year at Carnegie Hall, and Roma has been there. She was there last year and the year before because her daughter performs. Roma and, of course, husband, producer, prolific television producer Mark Burnett. They invited Damian to work with them to help launch a new MGM platform, Lightworks Media, which is meant to deliver heart-centered content. That's really cool stuff. Damian teamed up again with Celtic Thunder for a symphony tour, and in the fall as well, a 10th anniversary Celtic Thunder cruise. In 2017, that also brought Damian back into the acting world as he was cast in the lead role of the first feature film, the family Christmas movie, Santa Fake, to be released. That was released November 2018. In Santa Fake, Damian, you reunited with Glee co-star Heather Morris, acting alongside Hollywood fan favorites Judd Nelson and Jeff Fahey and more. Damian's first EP of original songs, No More Time, was released in the spring of 2018, followed by a 28-city tour of the U.S. and Canada. The EP reached number 9 on the U.S. iTunes pop chart and has amassed more than 750,000 streams online. Currently working on his first full-length CD of original songs, Young Forever. However, that's been taken care of already, released in the spring of 2019. And the first 2 singles from the album, Geronimo and Home Sweet Home, are incredible. Following that release of the full album, Damian embarked on the biggest solo tour yet across the US and Canada. And of course, now the world has changed for all of us, but he has also just released more incredible music that he started preparing in May, and it's just released, and it's really, really exciting. And guess what? My friend Damian McGinty is here right now, live and direct, not from Ireland, as you would think. He's on the West Coast in California. Damian, my friend, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Jim, thanks for having me. How are you?
Fantastic, fantastic. I told him there's a lot of Irish in the house tonight, and boy, there is, huh?
There is a lot of Irish yet. There's plenty of us to go around, so don't worry about it.
That's it. We got the green background for Ireland, the whole bit.
I love it.
I love the sign. What's the history of that cool sign that says McGinty behind you? I love it.
Yeah, so that's actually a sign that so I got married last summer, and that is we had the neon McGinty sign at the entrance of our reception, and it's like really nice, heavy wood.
Yeah.
And at the end of the reception, we obviously we had, we didn't really know what to do with it. So we were just like, let's take it home into our new apartment, see if we can get it on the wall somewhere. I'm very glad it covers the wall, and you can't see the amount of times I tried to hammer it into the wall. So I'm glad that part is covered. So we got it up because it's really, really heavy wood. Like it's just like the real deal. So like it almost brought the wall down with it, to be honest. But yeah, that's where it came from, and it actually turns on and off. So you'll see.
Oh yeah.
So, neon sign, but I thought I would turn it on first.
So if it kept blinking, it could be like McGinty's pub.
Yeah, honestly, and that might not be a terrible idea. The way the world's going right now, maybe that's the business way forward.
Absolutely. Speaking of that, my friend, how have you been doing? How have you kept those? All of us creative people have been doing different things to try to stay in touch with everybody, but also keep those creative juices flowing and keep the output happening. Tell us about some of the cool things you've been doing. And there's a release that just happened that I think reached like 1 million streams or something. Some awesome things happening for you, Damian. I'm happy for it too.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I think, Jim, I think like most people, it was really, really hard through kind of like March and April when all of this started happening, and like nobody knew, we'd never been in this territory before. Nobody knew what it was going to look like moving forward. We had no idea of like a timeline. Like everything was so fresh and so new. And I feel like every day the news was just so consuming. And it was just like it was complete survival mode almost, which is the way it should have been, because that was really important to take it very seriously.
Yeah.
So I honestly, March and April, I really didn't get a lot done because I didn't have the capacity to like figure out what it was going to look like, figure out how to be creative in that world. So once it kind of became clear that like this is what 2020 is going to be, which is so bizarre. And if you had told us that in January, we would never have said that was a thing. But then once I kind of got my head around that, sort of like mid-April, I started being very creative. I started writing a lot of songs, a lot of music. And I've really learned to just like slow down. It's very, very slow, which I'm still struggling with because like I get bored very easily. Because my life has always just been so fast, so many things going on, like 100 miles an hour every day. What's next? Which might not necessarily be a good thing, but then whenever it's literally slowed down to a stop with the rest of the world, it highlights the fact that my life has looked like that for the entire last 13, 14 years.
Right.
So yeah, but I mean, it's been great. I've been writing a lot of music, and yes, I did just release a new song called Paradise Cove. Basically the story behind Paradise Cove is we were doing like, I'm sure you've been the same yourself, but like there's been a lot of like creative collaborations on Zoom because, can't be in the same room. Right. So I've been doing like a lot of writing sessions on Zoom, which is very strange and not something that I ever thought would like ever be a thing. But it ended up being better than I thought it would be. It's just like anything, you kind of get used to it. But so I, in a session sort of halfway through May, I was in a session with Rosanna Brown and Ryan O'Shaughnessy, who are both European artists and songwriters, and we wrote this song called Paradise Cove. And I got out of the session, and I was literally sitting at this table. This is like where I do my sessions online. And I thought, this is a I think this is a very, very good summer song. I think it's very uplifting. I think it could be what a lot of people would really appreciate right now, like 3 minutes of escapism almost.
Right.
And I ended up doing this thing where I turned it around in like 2.5 weeks. So I, had to get a producer on board. I had to get studio time. I had to get distribution, get art, everything, which is normally a much longer process because it takes a lot of time. But it just shows you, if you put your mind to it, it actually can be quicker. So it was a very, very fast experience. It took my mind off everything, gave me a purpose. And the song has been going down really well. It's been so well received, Jim. It's been very flattering. And it just makes me excited about everything else I've been writing, because I'm very excited about like the next record and what that's going to look like, even though at the moment, as you know, we don't have any live shows or live TV or,
nothing.
So
we just have each other. We just have this as our way of really getting it out there, right?
I know. And I think this is what it's going to look like, at least throughout the end of this year. I've made peace with the idea that it's going to be through the end of this year.
More than likely,
I really, really hope then, like by the start of next year, that we're in the clear. That's what that's where my hopes lay right now. Anyway,
have you been talking to any leprechauns or kissing the Blarney Stone or anything?
I haven't. It might be worth a shot though.
Yeah. And that's the thing, because you're here in the States, your family's in Ireland. I asked you before, we went live. I said, can you go to Ireland, see the family? And you're like, well, I can go, but I wouldn't be able to come back. And that makes things tough as well, right? When you have your family and loved ones that are over there too, right?
Absolutely. I would say that has been the forefront of my biggest struggles, is the idea that I can't get home, is the idea that I don't think I'll get home for a while. I probably won't get home all year, which is really bothering me. But, I'm not the only person in this position. I'm very fortunate that I do have a good, stable, safe setup out here in the States. And obviously I have my wife here, and we've got great friends, and I've now got my in-laws who, become family, obviously our family. But Jim, I never thought I would be in a position where working in the States has always been the biggest blessing to me. It's been I've been very lucky in my life to be able to do that, and it's brought me so much. But I never thought I'd be in a position where I can't literally book a flight home and just like go home for a week and then come back to chasing opportunity. I never thought that would sort of be a thing. So I think when it comes back to normal, probably like yourself and like most people around the world, I'll never take for granted traveling wherever you want again,
That's right. Exactly. Right. It's, sometimes these things that happen, we could never have scripted anything like this. I always tell everybody, I think there's only 3 people that could have scripted this: Rod Serling, who did The Twilight Zone, Steven Spielberg, or maybe the novelist Stephen King, as far as how
that's true.
It's unbelievable that it's been, but so you're working, you're keeping busy, you're keeping mental and creative clarity, which is an important part of it, because it's very easy for any of us, anybody, people watching around the world, to sort of go off the beaten path a little bit and get sad and depressed. And it's so much stuff that's going on that's so awful. We see it every day.
And those are very real challenges. I think we are in that. This has probably been said a million times in the last 6 months, but we are truly in uncharted territory. And I'll be honest, I'm not someone that I've never been like dealt a hand of struggling with mental health or anything like that, or depression, or that's not something that I've never battled that so far in my life. I know a lot of people who have, and it's very, very, very real, and it's very, very hard. But even for me, I feel like great mental clarity and like great drive, and I try and do all the right things to like stay healthy in that capacity, such as eating healthy and working out and going running, and you name it, try and keep a healthy sleep routine. But like, even on top of all that, this has been very, very difficult.
Yeah.
So it's been hard for me. So I can only imagine people that battle with that anyway. It can only escalate all those things, and it can only escalate loneliness, and it can only escalate, all those really hard mentally driven things. So I think it's important that we just hunker down, we stick together, we get through this year, and then I think we'll appreciate normality when it comes around.
That's the thing. That's right. We got to have a positive outlook and just keep moving forward. We can't move back. Although right now we are going to go back in time a little bit as we take a look at, I feel like I'm Ralph Edwards. This is your life. We go back in time. I mentioned, of course, in the introduction, some of the cool things that have happened in your life along the way, Damian, that pointed you in this amazing direction that you've been so committed to. Were you always that kid that was sort of running around in the house as the entertainer, the performer, always singing and dancing, and the family recognized that in you? Tell us about the early Damian growing up there in Derry in Northern Ireland, and how some of that inspiration, maybe from your parents and family, also inspired you onward.
Yeah, to be honest, that was exactly what it looked like. It was always, I started singing when I was about 5 years old. That's when I really sort of recognized that I had a voice that could carry a tune. So that's really all you can recognize at 5 years old. You don't recognize anything else. All I knew that whenever I publicly sang, whether it be at a local karaoke competition or whatever it might be, whatever that might look like in church, at 5 or 6 years old, I could carry a tune and people didn't think it was terrible. So that's kind of all you know at that point. So needless to say, whenever you then gain like a little confidence and gain a little spring in your step, I kind of ran with that, and I just loved music since I can remember. I love music. We used to have a show back home on a Saturday night called Stars in Their Eyes, and I don't know if it ever made it to the States, but it was basically they picked random people from across the world. You apply for the show, and then you walk through the doors, and when you came back out, you were as another artist. So right. you were impersonating artists. And that's some of my very first memories. I remember this guy that was like impersonating Freddie Mercury, and he sang "It's a Kind of Magic" by Queen, and I just loved it. And I remember one of my great aunt's funerals. At the dinner afterwards, I was on stage at like 6 years old, and I was impersonating Freddie Mercury, singing "It's a Kind of Magic," like running around the stage with like that sort of long microphone he had. Like that's what I was doing.
That was you.
That was literally me. So I loved doing that. I wasn't thinking about a career. This was just like something that I happened to potentially have an aptitude for. And I just ended up really liking it. So yeah, I just chased that. And then I got my first break at 14 years old. As you read at the start of the show with Phil Coulter and Sharon Brown, who obviously you're very familiar with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So they cast me in Celtic Thunder, and then the rest is history, as they say. But even at 14, when I got cast in that show, Jim, I wasn't thinking of like long-term career. It was just a chance. It was just a chance to do what I love to do,
Right, exactly. But what was that like? I mean, were you pinching yourself? You were saying, wait a minute here, I'm now going to be starring with this group, and this group is going to become, international. And now we're going to appear on American television, and they're going to do TV specials. And wow, this is scoop me up. And am I in heaven? Yeah. What's happening here? What was that like for you, Damian?
It was entering the unknown. We truly, as a 5-piece, we had no idea, no clue whatsoever where it was going to go. Even though Celtic Woman existed, and we knew it was managed by the same person and producer that created Celtic Woman.
That's right.
So we kind of had like a clue as to what it could look like. But it's very, very difficult, Jim, for everything to like fall into place and for everything to go right. The music industry is a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication. It's also a decent amount of luck as well. Like you work hard and you get luck. I do believe that. I don't think you randomly get luck.
That's right.
But I think it's an important element, and it comes with working hard. It comes with putting in the miles, putting in the dedication into your craft. I think with that, you get a bit of luck. You get what you deserve, I think. So Celtic Thunder, I think it just struck at the right time. It blew up, it lit up, and it's given this 13 years of touring the world and releasing music. And I had no idea at 14 that was going to happen. You don't know you're signing up for that. You don't know you're signing up for a career. You think, I love to do this. This is a great opportunity. I'm going to give it my best shot and see what happens.
You see what happens. That's it. And just go from there. No real like expectations, right?
No, not at all. And it's actually more fun, Jim. I don't know how old you were when you started the entertainment industry, but like for me, when I was 14, I have a lot of fun now and I love it now, but at 14, it's a lot more fun because you're not thinking of anything else other than, I love to do this.
Right.
I'm going to go home and sleep in my parents' house, in my bed that I've slept in for 10 years or 14 years, sorry. And I don't need to worry about anything else in life other than the idea that I love to do this. This is great. I don't need to plan ahead. I don't need to think about creating opportunity right now. I don't need to do any of that. Whereas right now, that obviously has taken a very different road and it looks very differently because in a career, you have to plan things ahead of time. And then I'm now 27 where, you pay bills every day of your life like everybody else. This has become my job. So I miss the freelance of being 14 and not having to be so strategic, even though I do enjoy being strategic now. I love that. I love game plans. I think I'm good at that. But I just miss the idea of just doing it simply because you love it.
The free-spirited nature. And now there's the business side of it and the touring and and there's so much work. We were talking last night to Ann Kittredge, who's this wonderful Broadway actress and television star, and she was talking about we were talking about how we make everything look so easy in our industries, but all of the work it takes behind the scenes to make television, movies, stage performances look so effortless and so easy. The rehearsals and just the technical aspects and the timing, it all has to be so on point and so perfectly executed or anything go wrong. And there's days and weeks, sometimes months of preparation for what turns out to be a couple of hours of entertainment. And it's amazing when people find that out and they realize that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's actually what I love about it as well, is that I love doing the nitty gritty and behind the scenes. I love doing the long hours. I love doing the stuff that people find boring, monotonous. I really, really enjoy that. Because I do think as entertainers and as performers, it is our job to not get people involved in that process, because entertainment is meant to be a package. There you go. This is shiny. This is great. This is something that you are going to believe that was a flawless process. Even though, as we all know, that is not the case, but that's our job to make it look like that. Whether it be, as you say, a movie, a tour, a performance, a song, a record, whatever it might be, a TV show, whatever it might be. So yeah, there's a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes on that, but I'm grateful for it because I go crazy if I don't have things to do. So I'm always happy to be spending my time on my craft,
So as Celtic Thunder was, just touring along the country and around the world, and I want to show some photos here that we have from taking back. Here's Celtic Thunder here, going back in time.
That's a young one.
That's the gang. Yeah, right. And of course, George, who we lost
God bless him.
a couple of years ago. But I think this one was, that's entertainment. I mean, really, you've had an opportunity to meet so many people along the way, too. A lot of interaction with the fans as well, which is something that I know you and the other guys in Celtic Thunder, but you specifically really enjoy doing, right?
I love that. It's one of my favorite parts of the job. I think there's something special within having a connection through music.
Right.
I absolutely love that. there's nothing I enjoy more. That's what I miss so much about touring and being on the road at the moment, is the idea that, you know, I've been fortunate that I've met thousands, if maybe not millions of people at this point, where it's been simply through performance and the love of music that has brought us together. And I've met so many kind, great, compassionate people that have now become friends. Like, I run a very tight-knitted group, a street team on Facebook, and it's full of what you would call fans, but I always feel weird saying the word fans because it makes it feel like that's not what it is for me. I genuinely have a connection with these people. Like, I genuinely talk to them as friends, like friends, because they are friends. And that's music. Music has given me that. Music has given me the opportunity to meet so many people, and have relationships with so many people and get to learn about so many people, so many kind people. And I don't know if I've just been fortunate that for whatever reason, nice people have gravitated towards my music or whatever, but like, I rarely have any instances where you get someone that's like not so pleasant. Like, it happens, but it's pretty rare for me. So I feel very fortunate that whatever way I run my brand, it seems to attract good, kind people. So
absolutely. Love this photo here, Damian. That's yeah, that's cool. What was happening there? That's a cool shot.
I was taking flight. I think Sharon just basically said, "All right, do something different." So
are you hanging from a string or anything?
No, that's a
jump.
That is a real jump. That's a real jump.
That is cool.
I know. There's a lot of height on that, isn't there?
There really is. And of course, you probably get, I know you get asked this a long time, and I've asked you this on, American television as well. What's it like working with the guys? You guys have so much fun together and bounce off each other so well when you are with the Celtic Thunder gang.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think that's a huge element and a huge component of Celtic Thunder, is that we do have this organic chemistry and camaraderie that is just very real, and people see that and gravitate towards that, because you can always point and recognize if it's fake or if it's materialistic, but it's not with us. And especially now, the group is now made up of 4 of us, including myself.
That's right.
Which we've never been a 4-piece before.
No.
But funny to say, it's my favorite lineup that I've ever been a part of, for no other reason than we just click so well. We're very similar people. And during this whole process, this whole pandemic, we obviously haven't performed live, but like, we've done a lot of online things, and that's involved so much work together. So it's actually been a nice escape and a nice reason to constantly catch up. Like, we do a Zoom call or 2 every week. Planning things. And now we're producing a show currently for September that's going to be online. So it's just like constantly doing things, and we keep in touch all the time. We have a group text, the 4 of us, that's hilarious. So yeah, very, very fortunate to work with great guys.
And then you mentioned that incredible opportunity with Glee, and this was something. Tell us how this developed, Rory.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Glee came through the Glee Project, which was basically me as a 18-year-old, taking a punt and taking a real chance on just something that excited me. It seemed like an adventure. People thought I was crazy because, I had developed a platform. I developed a profile for myself in the States for the previous 4 years. So, I wouldn't say I was a household name, but I was definitely a name that a lot of people recognize. So the idea of then going into like a reality show competition seemed like a very, very much so backward step. But I was willing to sort of take that risk on my profile, and I was willing to be humane about the fact that I had so much to learn. I had a journey that was different than the other people on the show for many, many reasons. I was used to performing in theaters and performing very big, but I'd never done acting. I'd never done a lot smaller. I'd never done Steadicam. I'd never done up close shots. I'd never done any of that. So I had to like almost strip down the performer that I built in 4 years and then build this new performer whilst saving myself every week on the Glee Project and not being sent home. So that's what I ended up doing. So I was almost transitioning as the show went on, and I was just doing enough every week to keep myself in the show. And that's what I ended up doing. And I ended up winning that show, and that got me on Glee. So, I mean, a lot of coincidences, a lot of luck. But I always felt from submitting into that show that I had the belief that I could win this. I did have that belief, but it also seemed far-fetched because 40,000 people, your odds are quite large because there were so many talented people. And that, I mean, the most talent I've ever seen was involved in that show. So
yeah. I mean, you had so many people. Here's another cool shot here.
Yeah.
What was it like, being on set that you are and, Hollywood, and all of a sudden you're on a very popular American television show, Glee, on Fox? I mean, you had to be pinching yourself, when you called back home to the family and friends in Ireland, they must have been like, oh my God, Damian, what? This is awesome.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of that. I think like it was almost, it sort of felt surreal, but at the same time, I've always been fortunate that I've been able to look at things
with like a clear perspective.
Yeah, clear perspective, like almost look at it on paper. As if, yes, this is a great opportunity, but like we're all human beings here. We're all just doing a job. Like I try and look at it as a job, and not as something that is flashy, or because when you watch these things or watch these films, you almost feel like it's not humans. It's not like, it's not real life, or they're invincible or any of that. But like when I'm in that moment and when I joined the set of Glee, yeah, I was able to have a good perspective on it and just be like, this is a great opportunity that I can't wait to grab. But like the fame that came along with it was a little difficult because it hit a point. It hit a point once upon a time where like I literally couldn't walk down the street.
Right.
And that was a challenge because you become paranoid. You become, even if people aren't looking at you, which a lot of the time they were, but if they're not, you think they are. So it's like this weird thing where you're just literally walking out and about, that you think people are like watching you, and a lot of the time that was actually accurate. Because we had 15, 20 million hard viewers per week, show, right. Which is you don't see those ratings anywhere now.
Most people would like that in a lifetime.
You know what I mean? So
yes.
TV shows don't get that anymore. TV shows now, because of streaming, get 3 or 4 million a week, maybe.
Right.
So the idea of 15 or 20 million per week has now become a thing in the past. But yeah, I joined season 3 kind of right at the pinnacle of the show. So it came along with like a lot of things that were out of my control for sure.
And then as that happened, I mean, that just takes the rising star that was already there from, your talent. And then, of course, the exposure with Celtic Thunder. And that takes it all of a sudden to another level in a different genre. Now it's, television, although Celtic Thunder has had television specials on PBS. This is a whole other group and demographic and so much more. A lot of other things were thrust on you. Did many more opportunities come your way as a result of being on Glee, Damian?
Yes. A lot of opportunities that like people wouldn't know about, because I don't take on projects unless I feel like I can fully invest myself in it.
That's a good way to do it. That's what I do. Yeah.
Because you can easily spread yourself thin, and that's not good for anybody, especially yourself, but also the people that are depending on you, the people that are hiring you. So, one of the things I do question if I made the right decision on, which I'm not getting into everything I've said no to, but one of the things I questioned if I made the right decision on was Dancing with the Stars. I said no to that.
It was that opportunity, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that was 2013, 2014, something like that. And the reason I said no, Jim, is because, to be transparent, is because I just come through a reality show. I just won a reality show, and I didn't want to become a reality personality. That's not what I was chasing. And a lot of things about and of course the main issue was that I'm a terrible dancer. Do I think I could have done a decent job in Dancing with the Stars? Yes, but I would have been the guy that stayed maybe 3 or 4 weeks through sympathy. And I just didn't want to sign up for that. So But you know, it's such a huge profile thing. That's the only thing I question if I made the right decision.
Mm. So, but then other things have sort of come your way. So, I mean, and you've really been able to, have you been able to balance, and a lot of the guys have been trying to do this as well, balance, and the Celtic women ladies as well, balance being in Celtic Thunder, but also developing your solo career sort of simultaneously. I mean, the last time you and I chatted, when I was introducing you guys on stage, you were embarking on that 72 city North American tour, which was unreal. So how are you able to balance all of it and compartmentalize everything so you're not overstretched?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question. I think balance is the right word. And I think, I mean, for a while, I actually couldn't balance. Like, I had to leave Celtic Thunder for a number of years.
Right.
And, you know, I was asked to come back they did a special called Mythology, and I was asked to come back several times for that, but it just didn't feel like the right time to me. So I didn't, and that was because I just couldn't stretch myself thin. I couldn't do it. So I didn't do Mythology, but then when they were doing like a very best of, just a tour, not a special, it sort of felt like the right time to be like, okay, I can dedicate 10 weeks to this, wet my feet again, see how I feel about it, see how it goes. And obviously that's where one of our pictures that I just seen with yourself there comes from. So I did the very best of tour, and then that cycle just started to happen. And then it really balanced quite well with like writing records, creating music, doing my own tours. And I normally have, outside of the current world we live in for obvious reasons, I normally have like a 12 to 18 month like schedule where like I kind of know what it's going to look like, to a certain extent, because you can't prepare for the unknown. Like if a project came through the door tomorrow, then it's, you didn't know that was going to come, obviously. Right. But like in terms of touring and releasing music, I normally have a 12 to 18 month idea of what that's going to look like.
What's going to look like. Right.
So that's kind of how I work. Yeah.
So you have been able to really balance it then in the way that, works best for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I try my best, and I try and do it in a way, as I say, that it doesn't stretch me thin. Like a CP, if I'm involved with CP and they're going out for 3 months, Celtic Thunder, and they're going out for 3 months, then obviously I plan around those 3 months. Right. So I'm able to give myself those 3 months to Celtic Thunder. But on the road, I would plan ahead of time, and I will plan to have a lot of music written and recorded. So then whilst I'm on the road, I can do all the in behind stuff on the new record, get it prepped, get it ready. So when the tour ends, boom, you're ready to go with that, because although you've been on a tour, you've been prepping the inside stuff, almost the office type stuff for your solo career. And that's a way of sort of balancing it and manipulating the situation so you can kind of work on both.
Exactly. Those just joining us right now, we have comments coming in for everybody all around the world. I'm your host, Jim Masters. You're watching the Jim Masters Show live. It is 8 p.m. Eastern here in the greater New York City area between New York and Boston. This is the Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series. My special guest, dear friend, singer, actor, songwriter extraordinaire from Celtic Thunder, Glee, and his own brilliant solo career, Damian McGinty. We're talking behind the scenes about his life, his career, his passions. What are some of the things that you do to get away from the actual work itself, like hobbies, cycling, swimming, tennis, golf, different things that you like to do to take your mind away from, the business and the touring and all the other stuff that you have to do as part of the career?
Yeah, I do a lot of running. I love to run. I come from a running family. My dad was a marathon runner his whole life. My brother is now a marathon runner. My sister is a marathon runner. So I'm not as intense as they are. So they literally dedicate so much of their life to it. But I love running. Like this morning I did 5 miles. You know what I mean? I kind of try and do that five times a week, 4 or 5 times a week. And I find that helps. That helps with everything. That helps with my weight. That helps with staying in shape. That helps mentally, which is the main reason I do it, is mentally. It keeps me so fresh. It keeps me on top of things. It helps gain clarity on a lot of situations. So I just find that I'm in a much better space when I do run rather than when I don't. But then, more recently I've taken on golf a lot. I love golf. I'm not very good, but I'm trying to get a lot better. And I have gotten a lot better, but I'm still not very good. I golf with people that are like very good. And I'm like below average. But at least I can now like actually play the game and not worry if I'm going to hit the ball or not. Because I used to be in that place where I was like, please hit the ball. At least I'm not there anymore. So I can, so I love that. But yeah, and then I watch a lot of football, which is soccer in the States, obviously.
Right, yeah.
I'm a huge Manchester United fan. And then I obviously now have a wife, so that's also taken a very different angle on my life in terms of like what you do in your spare time, because you now have a partner in your life as well, so that takes a turn for the better. So yeah, I would say all those things mixed in with my job, that's kind of my cocktail of work and mixing pleasure.
Absolutely. And we actually have a really our research department right here dug up a really phenomenal picture of the two of you. There she is.
That was last June.
Anna Claire. So how did you guys meet? And congratulations again, because I don't know if we saw each other since the wedding, my friend, but best. And if I was there, I would say a toast to there we go. A toast to you guys and cheers. How did you meet? How did this meeting happen?
We met in California. We met through mutual friends. I had just moved to LA, but I was in LA for about 9 or 10 months, and I'd met this like group of girls that were in the entertainment industry. Some of them were musicians, some of them were actresses. And we were kind of in the same world, so we gravitated towards each other. And they are now my very best friends. I've known them for 10 years. But little did I know when I met them that they told me, in a couple of months, our friend, a really great friend we grew up with, Anna Claire, has finished in school in Memphis, and she's going to move here and pursue acting as well. So that's how I met her. And then, it went well. So.
Yeah, everybody loving the shot. There you go.
Yeah.
2020. I think they want her for president. 2020.
Yeah, there you go. Benjamin's not so far off.
You are the four-leaf clover who gives luck and happiness to everyone. Congratulations coming from all the viewers, Anna and Marcia and Renee in Iowa and Mary Bishop and Abigail and all these great people, and Anna and Benjamin and Danilo and San Diego, everybody. Great shot. Yeah, really is a beautiful shot. And was the wedding in Nashville?
The wedding was in Memphis. Yeah.
Memphis, yeah.
So that's where she's from. She's from Memphis, along with her, obviously her family. That's where she grew up. So we had a mix of Tennessee people. We had a mix of California people. A lot of Irish people flew over on a plane. It was a party for the ages, let me tell you.
Jennifer asks this of all the guests: do you like the beach or the mountains? I'm a mountain woman, but I do love the beach too. Love you, Damian. I love the mountains, but I grew up on the coast, on the East Coast. So for me, the ocean is first, and then the mountains would be second. And I always whip this picture out for the audience, for the viewers, because you put me near the ocean and I'm good. I swim it, surf it, kiteboard it, boogie board it, run it. Just we sail in it, boat, the whole bit. So for me, the ocean first, then the mountains. How about you? Is there a choice, or you just like both?
I do like both, but I mean, I have moved to the ocean. I'm not in LA anymore. I'm not in Huntington Beach, and it's a lot closer. So we go to the beach probably most weekends, to be honest.
A little bit warmer than the Irish coast, right?
It is much warmer than the Irish coast.
So that's cool stuff. I mean, you've had some wonderful things happen in your life that have been really, truly amazing. Have you had a chance to? I'm sure you get a lot of youngsters that are coming up that want to be performers and singers, and maybe you get a chance to maybe mentor them a little bit or give them a little advice as far as what it takes to really, you have to have opportunities, you have to have luck, you have to have supportive people around you, of course, and you have to believe in yourself, because there's a lot of rejection and there's a lot of failure and a lot of things don't always work out. but you got to keep moving forward. So do you ever get a chance to talk to youngsters who are thinking about these kinds of careers, Damian?
Yeah, I've had a lot of people, because of the way my career's looked and the trajectory it has had. And I always say, never ever change what your idea of success is, no matter what that looks like for you as a person. Like for me, my idea of success is longevity. It's not necessarily doing like A-star projects or doing X, Y, and Z. It's the idea of being able to do this for my life, have it support my family, and have it be sustainable and have people interested and have people enjoying the music. As long as people enjoy the music, I'll keep doing this. So my idea of success has always been longevity. And I've had a lot of people come to me, asking for advice. And my advice would be is that keep a very, very clear head on your shoulders. Never, ever feel like you are, like you deserve success. I know a lot of people that have made that mistake, and they're very unhappy because nobody deserves anything. You work for what you get. And sometimes if you don't get it, that simply means that it wasn't the right time or it wasn't for you, but never ever have the attitude of I deserve success, because narcissism doesn't look good on anyone. So I think it's very, very important to have your morals in the right place and be a good person. Actually focus and hone in on your craft. Don't fall in love with the idea of your craft, because some people make that mistake. They love the idea of being a singer. They love the idea of having their name in lights and everything that they think comes with it. My advice would be, don't fall in love with the idea of it. Fall in love with learning about it. Fall in love with trying to get better. Fall in love with the journey rather than the idea of a destination. And I think those are sort of things I try and stick to on a daily basis. And that's what I would tell a young person. I would say, if you're really serious about this, don't fall in love with the idea of it. Fall in love with getting better. Fall in love with trying to not doing it for any other reason than because you love it and because you want to get better. And that, I think if you do it for those reasons, I think you'll get good results. Whereas I think if you do it, and I've seen it happen
all the time
with a lot of people fall short because they're in love with the idea of it, or because they think that they deserve something, and it never works. So
it never works, and people sometimes they get themselves, and I've mentioned this in interviews that I've done and interviews where I've been the one interviewed by another host, where people get wrapped up in that version of themselves as just the talent. So their self-worth and everything that they are is based on what happens just in their career and all the response and love they get from fans and viewers. But then when they're with their family, with their friends, or when they're alone, they don't necessarily feel as fulfilled as they do when they're on stage or TV or radio or whatever they're doing. And that's not a good place to be. It's good to be fulfilled.
Yeah.
Don't let the job be the thing that rules you. You rule and guide and direct it, right?
You've hit the nail on the head. I always look at it, don't ever let it define you. Don't let a job define you as a person. Don't let success define you as a person. And I think if you have that outlook and have that clarity, it enables you to feel free. You don't feel trapped. You don't feel like your happiness isn't dependent on it. And I think that's a very important place to get to for two reasons. It's a very important place to get to for your mental health, so you don't go crazy. But it's also a very important place to get to because once you've made peace with that, it actually frees you up to fully excel and fully go for it and fully have no fears. And it's a very, I feel like it's probably a hard thing to reach because it might be easy to say, don't do this, don't do that. But I've just seen that it works. It works for me personally. And I don't let my career define me. I try not to overthink things. I try not to, and I think that's important.
Exactly, because it's family and friends and love and health, and I think what we've been going through lately with the pandemic and the economic situation and the societal unrest, all these heavy things we've been dealing with, it's been giving us time to pause and really think about the things that matter in life and the people that matter in our lives, our loved ones, our friends, people that care. And I've always said, I hope we come out of this friendlier, more empathetic, kinder, and we listen more, less divisiveness around the world and in this country. And we lift each other up. I'm always into lifting people up and inspiring and being positive in everything I do. I know that's what you do, Damian. And your take on things is really cool because it's so in line with the way I think. You have very well laid out the priorities in life and what it's all about. There's all the glitz, there's the glamour to all these things we do, but that's when the lights are on, that's when that attention is there. Then there's the rest of life. And when you are fulfilled with the rest of life, as well as all of the trappings of the glitz and the glamour, then you've got a really happy, settled, content, balanced life, right?
For sure. 100% agree with that. I think all those things are important. And I think it's also important to, if you ever have any feelings, which we all do, don't blame other people for them. Don't hold other people responsible for thinking that you're not where you need to be. Because I also think that is, that's something that grows inside of you. And then you grow resentment to the career itself because it hasn't given you what you want. And you start blaming other people for that. And my advice would be, take responsibility. Like, you're in this, you're building this yourself, you're chasing this yourself. Other people can't control your career. That's not real life. You know what I mean? Right. So yeah, I think those are all good words, man.
Absolutely. A couple questions. People asking, what is your favorite song to perform? Do you have a favorite song, Damian?
That's a good question. I mean, there's so many. I think overall, a song that's followed me around for a long time, and I fell out of love with it for a while, but I've kind of fallen back in love with it, is "Home" by Michael Bublé. Yeah. It's always been a beautiful song, but I hit a point a couple of years ago where I'd sung it so much that I was just like, I don't want to ever sing the song again.
Yeah, like this is.
I'm so done with this. But no, only recently in the last few months have I fallen in love with it again and really appreciate it more. So I think right now maybe that.
Somebody asked if you speak Gaelic.
A little bit. I learned it in school, but I'm not great, to be honest. I'm not great. I know Gia Ditch is hello, and then my favorite line in school is a Wolcad Ugam Dog Jaileris, which means excuse me, ma'am, may I go to the bathroom, please?
Write that down, folks. You learn something new every day. I tell you on the Jim Master Show live, right?
There you go. I feel like if you say it in a different language, in the language class, they can't say no because it's been so impressive that you just said it right. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, it always sounds. Sometimes in other languages, things sound so much sweeter than they actually are. Would you ever like to write a book?
Yeah,
autobiography, maybe.
I know, yeah. I always think it looks a bit ridiculous when a 20-year-old writes a memoir or
history of their life. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm not gonna write a memoir right now because I don't have anywhere near as much wisdom as I want to have.
You're still creating.
I feel like I might have more to talk about in 20 years, or 30 years, 40 years. I don't know.
Anna asks, what is your favorite tour with Celtic Thunder? Was there a specific one that stood out for you?
Yeah, the 10th anniversary tour was my favorite. That was with the four of us. The current lineup was great. But they're all very different. They all hold a very different place for different reasons. The very first tour, I was 16 years old. It was all new. It was all fresh. The very best of was my first tour back after the Glee experience, which is when I first met you.
That's right.
That was a great tour as well because I knew how the business worked a lot more, and I was able to appreciate it and enjoy it for what it was. So yeah, I mean, I loved all the tours, but I think the 10th anniversary was my favorite.
She asked also, what was your favorite memory from Celtic Thunder? It's probably thousands of memories, I would imagine, right? So many.
I mean, yeah, so many. If I had to pick one, I think when I think Celtic Thunder, what I think of, for obvious reasons, is the very, very first show And when we were filming that, the night in the Helix in Dublin, like when I sang Puppy Love and Come by the Hills, The Bird Without Wings, that's a highlight in terms of performance nights for me, because everything was so fresh, everything was so new, glitzy. And then, you know, the more you do that, I don't want to say you become cynical, but it becomes something that you're just more used to.
Right.
So naturally, looking back, you always remember your first show, I feel like, and that's kind of a highlight for me.
Joanne McGarry has asked, who has influenced you most? I'm sure, like, well, Sharon and Phil Coulter, but probably your family, your parents. There are people that have influenced you the most, whether they're in the family or just people in the industry, people you've looked up to?
Yeah, I've been fortunate to have a couple of really, really great influences, Jim. Like, obviously, I grew up in a really, really great family. I was raised by amazing parents, and I can't take any credit for that. That was just like the hand I was dealt. You can't choose your parents. But I was very fortunate that I just happened to get amazing ones. So I definitely look up to like my mum and dad. I talk to them on a daily basis, even though I'm not in Ireland. So obviously they're huge influences. They're great people. And I'm glad that they've raised me the way they did, because I ended up, you know, being in circumstances that you need to have, like, I feel like a decent head on your shoulders to sort of handle, you know. But then, I mean, outside of that, Phil Coulter was always a great influence. He's musically a legend. Sean Brown, big influence. And even then up to like Ryan Murphy, who was an influence later in my life. So I've been fortunate to have several, yeah.
What kind of music? I don't think I've ever even asked you this, because when we're in the public television studios, it's always so quick. You know, a couple of questions, and then we move on to the thank you gifts and all that. Let's move it.
I know.
What kind of music do you listen to, other than the music that you're involved in the Celtic themes, but the music that you've done yourself? What other people do you listen to? What's in like your iPod or your car radio type thing?
Yeah, I listen to a lot of like kind of songwritery type stuff, but with a left of center pop vibe to it. I mean, for example, I love Chris Martin from Coldplay. He's one of my favorite artists. So I love nearly everything he does. There's an artist called Matt Carney that I love, who's like an indie artist from Nashville. He's huge in his own right, but like he wouldn't necessarily be like a worldwide pop star, you know. Artist. He's like in his late 30s now, I think.
Yeah.
But I also love country music, which is a lot of people would never guess that I really, really do. Like, I love a Tim McGraw's, I love the Keith Urbans, I love the Garth Brookses. I really am. I've always had such a soft spot for country music, so I love that as well.
I wonder if you and Nathan Carter would ever team up, because he's so big with country too, huh?
Yeah, I know Nathan well, actually. You know, we've had a couple of like brief
conversations.
Conversations. Like, I definitely wouldn't rule out working with Nathan in the future. I think we're both. It seems to be that we're both like kind of similar people, so I think we'd work well together. So who knows? Maybe.
And you guys have sort of mingled with and become friends with the artists through Celtic Woman too, the Chloes and the Maireads, and that's kind of cool too, right? Because there's so much music that has come out of Ireland, Celtic Thunder, Celtic Woman, but then of course you think of all the way back to Frank Patterson, Ronan Tynan, the Irish tenors, I mean the Celtic tenors. It goes on and on and on. What do you think it is about Irish culture and music that people love around the world, but especially here in the United States and Canada, from what you've seen?
Yeah, that's the golden question. I think my own analysis of it would be that it's like the music is all very welcoming. It all makes you feel like home, makes you feel like you belong here, makes you feel like you're missing something. And we all want what we can't have. And I think Celtic music brings that. It brings like this magical idea of what Ireland looks like, what it does look like, what it might look like. And I think that's why it resonates with millions of people across the world. But yeah, you're right. You know, I've got to know the Celtic Woman girls very well. I know Chloe very well. We've got a lot in common, obviously. We both started very young. She was based in LA. She lived around the corner from me for a number of years.
That's right.
So yeah, we know each other very well, and she's great.
Corinne asks, would you ever sing Bird Without Wings again? Maybe a different version than you sang with George.
You know, I get asked that question a lot.
Yeah.
I think because it's such a strong memory for me for a number of reasons. Obviously, I'm 14 is the first show, but then Big George being there as well.
Yeah.
I think it's a memory I just like would rather retire. But I'll not rule out singing it again, but it would never be the same for me, because that's such a strong nostalgic moment in my history and a lot of people's history, in George's history, who's obviously passed away since.
Yeah.
So the answer is I don't know, but I'll never rule it out. But right now, no.
Yeah, that makes sense, because sometimes when you have something that's, dear to your heart, and it was something that, you brought to life with somebody else who was very important in your life, one of the founding members of Celtic Thunder, George, and not being with us anymore. It's beautiful to keep that memory and that song attached to him.
Yeah.
Speaking of music, you wanted to perform something for us live as well, too, right? There at McGinty's Pub.
Sure, McGinty's Pub. Yeah, I'll do a quick song. And Jim, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
It's absolutely awesome. What's the song you're going to do for us, my friend?
Really appreciate it. Yeah, so I see myself out with this. So I think I always like messed with guitar. Like I write songs with guitar, but I never ever claimed to play it really, and I still don't claim to play it, to be honest. But I can like mess around with it, I guess, and so I can string a tune together. So I'll sing a Celtic song just because I know that a lot of our audience watching is from that realm. And let me take my AirPods out so I can hear this properly.
Sure, you got it. The one and only Damian McGinty, live on the Jim Masters Show live. So glad to have him here, and thanks to everybody around the world watching tonight. We're on every night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, live on YouTube and Facebook at Jim Masters TV. And now, here is Damian live.
Perfect. You can hear me, right?
Yep, you sound good.
Good stuff. Thanks, man. All right, so. I don't know if you can see the changes that have come over me in these last few days. I've been afraid that I might drift away. I've been telling old stories and singing songs that made me think about where I came from, and that's the reason why I seem so far away today. So let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me. Now I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Now I have moved and I've kept on moving. I've proved the points that I needed proving. I've lost the friends that I needed losing. Found others on the way. I've kissed the ladies and I've left them crying. I've stolen dreams, yes, there's no denying. I've traveled hard, sometimes with conscience flying. Somewhere in the wind. So let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. So let me tell you that I love you, and I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, now I'm going home. And if I should become a stranger, know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. I've ever had.
Really, really nice. Really beautiful. Everybody loving it too. The comments coming in here from all around the world. That's a song that just really hits home for so many people. Ruth Grant, great job, Damian. Lovely. You got hearts, and you got green hearts, and you got the clovers and claps from Merlin and Canada. Playing me tambourine lightly with you, Damian. Thank you. That's Jennifer. Hearts from Holland. Dennis McCrae, Mary Bishop. She's even got a couple of instruments in there as well. Anna says amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah, beautiful. Enjoyed. On and on. This is really beautiful. And it's nice when you hear these kinds of comments. Corinne, beautiful song. Love this from Abigail. Love this from Anna. Sherry, thank you, Damian and Jim. What a wonderful show. We knew you would love it. Caledonia, of course. Great interview. Beautiful Caledonia. Caledonia. Love this song and version. Love your slower version that you're doing. Beth loves it. Caledonia is a great way. Yep, absolutely. Thank you. Was there anything else you wanted to do? Was there another song you had that you wanted to throw in? Anything that...
I didn't prep one, but I can do one more. Let me look here. Yeah, I'll do one more. So, let me leave my capo really quick.
So what one would this be?
I'm deciding.
Hot off the presses, folks.
All right, this is a song I wrote. Haven't released it yet, so this is a live exclusive.
You know, that's been happening on this show. So many people have been debuting live exclusives on the Jim Masters Show Live. And I got to tip my hat to you, Damian. That's really a beautiful thing to do, especially with all of this captive audience we have here. So what is the name of this one that they're going to hear for the very first time?
This is called Never Lose Sight of Home.
Oh, I love that. That's perfect for these times. You're the best, Damian. Take it away.
Cheers, buddy. years old, playing around with friends. We were told never lose sight of home. So much to do and places to see, feet born to run, people to be, eyes full of wonder, a head full of dreams. Ooh, when you look back, you're gonna know. Ooh, all the good times made out of gold. Holes in our shoes, no time to lose. We were broke, but we had it all. Ooh, no, we never lose sight of home. Time will fly, so cherish every golden minute. I'm not afraid to die, but I don't wanna miss out on living. There's so much to do and places to see, feet born to run and people to be, eyes full of wonder and a head full of dreams. Ooh, when you look back, you're gonna know. Ooh, all the good times made out of gold. Holes in our shoes, no time to lose. We were broke, but we had it all. Ooh, no, we never know. We never lose sight of home. No matter where you go, you know. Beauty comes from where you've grown. Ooh, when you look back, you're gonna know. Ooh, all the good times made out of gold. Holes in our shoes, no time to lose. We were broke, but we had it all. Ooh, no, we never know. We never lose sight of home. We never lose sight of home.
That is really, really beautiful. That's amazing. What was the inspiration for that one? I mean, the comments have been like burning up the phone lines here. It's been like,
well, that's very kind. I basically wrote it about, I definitely wrote it about like the idea of home, but I wanted to take a different angle on it. And I wanted to take the angle of like, and capture the magic of growing up and capture the nostalgia of growing up. And like what we always, when you think of home, you have nostalgic moments and you have magical ideas of what it looked like when you were growing up, magical memories of what it looked like when you were growing up, and trying to capture that emotion and that feeling. So yeah, that's what I try to do with that.
That's cool stuff. So that's on which album? When will people be able to hear that? They're already asking, oh, I can't wait for that to be released.
That's not anywhere yet.
That's just here.
No, that's just here. So that I do think that'll be on the new record. When that's going to be, I'm not entirely sure yet, to be honest. But it will be out in the world at some point.
So it's a preview, a little teaser for everybody watching right now. Make sure you go to Damian's websites and all to keep abreast of, and we'll keep you posted here too when that's released. We'll announce it on the show for you, Damian, as well. Tell us about, people have been asking about the latest project, the one that was just released. Tell us about that one a little bit more and some of the newer music that you've just done that's sort of hot off the presses. A lot of people asking about that, which is really cool.
Yeah, Paradise Cove. That's a song I released. It's a summer song. It's got like a really windows down feel, good feel vibe to it. Feel good vibe. It's basically a summer song that I wrote. I don't know if it's going to be part of a record, but yeah, that's the photograph to kind of like market it. And capture the vibe of it in a photo. So yeah, it's a song I'm really proud of. Actually, I think it might be one of my favorites that I've done. But I put it out there, and it's actually doing really, really well. It's only been out 2 weeks.
And like over 1 million streams or something, I saw.
Well, that's, you should know, just hit 1 million streams the other day, which is a song that was on the Young Forever record. But yeah, Paradise Cove has been released 2 weeks, and it's a few thousand streams away from like 100,000 streams already. So it's off to like the quickest start of any of my songs so far. So
that is amazing, isn't it? Yeah, and Lisa's
promising. I just feel humbled, man, that people are like consuming my music and seem to enjoy my music. That's, you can't buy that. You can't buy real organic interest in your stuff, and I'm very, very grateful that people seem to be waiting for the new song. And there actually is another exclusive. There is a new release coming next Friday. So I'm excited. I haven't announced anything about that yet, so a little bit more news on that next week.
That's cool. That's cool. Jennifer asks, well, she said that she misses her daddy. She's thanking me and you for bringing him back home to her in the heart through the music. She had also asked, I want to scroll back up here. Oh, yeah, that's true. I was thinking of that as well, as far as how you structure a song when you write a song yourself, because you're an actor, you're a singer, but you're also a prolific songwriter. How do you structure a song?
It really depends what comes out in the writing session. Like sometimes the structure is quite simple, where it's verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, or sometimes it's a bit like Paradise Cove, where it's like in Paradise Cove, I've got almost a chorus within a chorus. And that was kind of interesting. That was the first time I'd ever done that before. Like there's a hook within a hook. So I really enjoyed writing that. And I think that's why I'm actually very proud of Paradise Cove. I think it's like so catchy to anybody's ear when they hear it. It's kind of natural to like want to hear it again because of the melodies. So it really depends. It really depends on if you're looking for an emotional song or if you're looking for like a feel good windows down Paradise Cove type song. Sometimes emotional songs are the structure's a lot more flexible, and you don't need to go with like a certain formula because you're just telling a story, and what's important is the lyrics and the emotion behind the song rather than the structure. So it just depends what you're looking for.
What are some of the things, in the course of your day that inspire you to write as well? Are you an observer of life, like certain things that happen, that you see, that you witness, that you experience, sort of trigger material for you as you go along in your day, Damian? Are you always soaking things up?
Yes, there is. I try and observe. I try and be a good observer and a good, I try and recognize things and watch things. Like everything I see every day is another chance to write a song. So I definitely do that, and I definitely try and be very observant about everything. So I recognize something that isn't common to your common person, to their eyes, because you kind of walk past a lot in your life, which is human nature. So I feel like that is something that I try to be better at in terms of trying to tell stories, and observe different little things that people often wouldn't see and try and tell stories about that. So I'm trying to get better at that. That's hard, because it's human nature to sometimes miss little details that are so great. So I'm trying to become a better observer.
How has this time, being, at home, sort of not locked down, but just social distancing, not having that I feed off the energy of others and I bring it back tenfold in my work on air as a host, but also in life. You do the same thing. So it is there is something, that element missing. I mean, I love doing this show and I get a chance to talk to so many fabulous people around the world and it's very interactive, but there is still that element of not seeing the faces and the hugging and the high-fiving and all of that. So have you, during this period, been thinking about certain things? Has it been inspiring you in a different direction with music, with your thought, with songs, with some of the things that maybe when we come out of this, fingers crossed, in good shape, when we rise from the ashes, there'll be some new additional things coming out from you, Damian, because of this perspective, this amazing perspective. You've always had this grounded nature about you, about life, which I love, but that's probably being enhanced during all of this right now, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's a really good question. It is enhanced. And I think moving forward, I'll always be a lot more grateful for what I used to take for granted. And I think that's probably showing a lot more in the music that I'm currently writing.
Yeah.
So I think with stuff that I've got coming out pretty soon, you are going to see elements of that in place in the music. And I mean, I'm just like anybody, Jim, like yourself, that I miss hugs. I miss in-person interaction. Online is great. It's a substitute, and I'm so grateful we have it. I really am delighted we have it, because without it, we would be in an even worse place. So I'm grateful we have this, and so many kind people watching tonight. There's so many names I recognize, and a lot of new names as well. So yeah, the online stuff is vitally important. And I think just, moving forward, it's going to shape music for a while, because I think a lot of artists are just writing a lot more music right now than what they would have been, because, we're not doing any live shows. So I think there will be a burst of new music very soon.
A lot of people saying that too. They're missing all of that, but, sharing a home brew, Sabrina, and
I miss that home brew.
Miss seeing you in Canada. Live in person. This is a great interview. Thank you, Bethany. We appreciate that. Love being a street team member.
Jim, I just have to say, man, thanks so much for having me on tonight.
Oh, it's been a pleasure, my friend.
Really, and thank you to all the kind people watching.
You've been great. You got your glass there? We're going to raise a glass to toast to you, my friend.
Cheers. Pleasure.
Clang.
Clang. We'll do it again sometime.
You're welcome anytime. It was really terrific. Thanks for all the time. It was a pleasure. Good, really catching up with you. Best of luck on all the cool stuff you're working on as well, my friend. And I hope you enjoyed your time with me as much as I did with you, baby.
Absolutely loved it. Thanks so much, man. Really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. You stay well, okay?
Stay safe.
Take care.
Guys, take care, Jim.
Take care. Bye-bye now, Damian. All right. Bye-bye. Wasn't that terrific? Cheers to Damian. And cheers to you. Got him to play some music, which was really generous of him. And we really appreciate him being with us. If you're watching this for the first time, I'm your host, Jim Masters. If you want to see the interview we did with Mairead Nesbitt, she was here. We did about a 2-hour interview with Mairead from Celtic Woman and her solo career as well, and also Celtic Heart. She and I worked on that public television special with Tim Janis and all the Harp Twins and Emer Magoon and so many other great talented artists. Len Hillary was on that. You can see that interview at Jim Masters TV on YouTube. If you want to see the interview I did with Chloe Agnew, she's got a brilliant solo career and she's from Celtic Woman. You can see that interview right on my YouTube channel. That is Jim Masters TV. If you want to see the interview we did with the Harp Twins, that's also in the archives at Jim Masters TV. And also with Sean Wiley from Under the Street Lamp. He was just here a couple of nights ago. Olivia Clark was here as well. And so many comedians, television people, music, film, food, science, health, wealth, nature. You better believe it. It's all here. This is a show that we do every single night, everybody. Coming up tomorrow, we've got host chat. We'll be chatting back and forth. Again, this is what I do professionally. not this show, but I'm a professional television radio host in my professional career. But I want to let you know on Saturday night, we've got a really cool person coming on. This is Sean Kanan, Saturday night. He is a phenomenal actor. He was on the soap opera General Hospital. He played A.J. Quartermain for years. He is working on some really cool projects in Hollywood. He's a great actor, television, film, commercials, you name it, all there. So if you're watching for the very first time, we say thank you very much for watching. And again, we invite you to like the YouTube channel at Jim Masters TV. Give it a subscription. We love that. YouTube loves it as well. So Sean is here Saturday night. And we want to say thanks once again to our terrific guest, my awesome friend, Damian McGinty. We're going to go through some photos again. There we are backstage with Keith Harkin and Colm, and there's Damian. And this was during one of the Celtic Thunder performances. And it was really cool to have Damian on the show. And again, we've known each other for quite a few years. Here we are with Ryan and with Damian. Everybody always comes up to me and says, you look like one of the Celtic Thunder guys. Are you not in Celtic Thunder? Well, I've got the Irish, that's for sure, and I'm an alto, so there you go. And this was backstage with some of the other performers, and Damian, I was emceeing that concert, and this was at Public Television, and we were filming some national breaks for their national public television special. All the guys there from Celtic Thunder, really, really cool. It was really great having Damian here, going through some of the photos that we went through during the course in case you joined us late. Of course, there he is with Anna Claire, his lovely wife. They got married last year. Here is when he was Rory Flanagan on Glee. Do you remember that? Absolutely. And of course, the years in Celtic Thunder. Cool stuff, cool stuff. A couple of you were commenting on that photo. We was actually sailing in the air. There he is again on Glee. I don't know if we showed that one. Another cool one. And of course, recent with his new work, the album just out. And you heard a world exclusive with that last song. That was very cool of him to share that with us. And again, this is right here is Sean Kanan. Sean Kanan is going to be here Saturday night. He's a television, movie actor, and so much more. You know him from soap operas and everything else. Sean Kanan is here exclusively. This Saturday night is my very special guest. We got a lot of cool guests coming up. So great night, wasn't it? And let's take a look at some of the comments. You know, on this show, we're very viewer centric. And let's go back in time with some of these comments. There's hundreds of them. Bringing back memories of my very young days. That's beautiful. And Lovity is our word. We're working on getting some Lovity t-shirts and some hats because we have some amazing guests. But I just love chatting with you guys. You know, as a TV personality and presenter and radio host, this is one of the things I love to do, is to bring you fun entertainment, inspiring conversations, behind the scenes, on location, and a whole host of other cool things. So thanks for joining us, folks, here on the show. Thank you for sharing. That is my pleasure, Abigail. I hope you'll join us again, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, every night here on the Jim Masters Show live on YouTube, Facebook, Jim Masters TV. Your family is proud to be longtime fans. We thank you very much, Bernadette. Thrilled to add Paradise Cove to the playlist. Yeah, that's a great, great album. Magnificent interview. Thanks, Mr. Lovity. Thanks, Damian. You are Mr. Wonderful. We appreciate that. And thank you both from Jennifer. Thanks, Jennifer. We appreciate that. Loving all this Lovity coming from all of you guys. Again, the real Irish, our Irish eyes are certainly smiling. Me too. I miss the hugs as well, Orfino. I know that's one of the tragic things of everything going on. We can't hug. We can't high five. I'll high five with all of you now. And then maybe we'll do a group hug. Here we go. There we go. Can we hug? Can we get in there? There we go. Hopefully you guys felt that. Hopefully you're feeling it coming from the heart, because I do everything from the heart, just like Damian does. I speak from the heart. Everything I do is heart-centric. I'm a Libra. It's all about balance and harmony. Thank you, Bethany. I'm very happy to know you enjoyed the interview. And Sabrina enjoying that home brew. That sounds really, really good. And Merlin in Canada, It's been great, Damian and Jim. Truly enjoyed this interview. Thank you very much. And, sometimes I don't even call them interviews. I call them conversations, because sometimes an interview is question, answer. And then the interviewer or the host or the journalist, which I'm all those things, but they just answer, they ask the questions, and then we're done with the questions. That's it. And they move on. And sometimes they don't even listen to the answer. And I think a good conversation is when it's back and forth, and when you listen to each other and you play off each other, and you encourage and support each other. That's what I love doing with all of these fantastic friends of mine that have been coming on the show and guests. Thank you. I feel honored and humbled. You, Damian, answered my questions. Same feelings to Jim. Asked them to you. My pleasure. Our pleasure. Jennifer, is wonderful having you here. And can't wait to see you again soon. Diane, I hope you'll be with us. We're here every night on the entertainment lifestyle talk show series, Jim Masters. This is our 12th week on the air. Really fantastic. Love having you here. Very good interview tonight. Great to meet you. Glad to meet you, Damian. Damian was glad to meet all of you as well. Rebecca, it was a pleasure having you here. Loved having you here. Thank you for the interview. Margaret, thank you for being here and watching and spending your time with us. This entire show will be available in the archives at Jim Masters TV. So if you'd like to see this episode again, or if you want to share it on YouTube, if you want to share it on Facebook, if you want to share it on Instagram, you can do that, because this is available right now. The entire interview is available to watch again with your family or friends. Especially while you're home. You can binge watch all the episodes of the Jim Masters Show live talk show series on YouTube at Jim Masters TV. And we would love it if you subscribe to the channel. You can friend the Facebook page or like the page, Jim Masters TV. I'm on Instagram as well at Jim Masters TV. Would love it if you showed some levity there. And you can find me on Twitter too, at Jim Masters TV. And again, it was great having my dear friend Damian here on the show. I was so honored to have him with me. Again, if you want to see any of the other interviews we've done, Chloe, Mairead, and so many great people we've had. We've had Stan Livingston, who played Chip Douglas in My Three Sons. We had Kathy Garver, who was Sissy on Family Affair. We've had comedians and performers and Broadway actors and singers from all backgrounds, all ages, cool people. You're welcome, Bernadette. You are welcome, Orfino. Wonderful to have you in Canada. And Willie, congratulations Willie watching. This is her 50th show. She watches in the Netherlands. We love you having you here. Happy anniversary again, 50th show. What a good show to be 50 with, right? Cheers to you both. Thank you, Kathy. Amanda, fantastic interview. Thank you both. You're welcome. Joanne, my pleasure. You be safe as well. You stay safe as well. Love and safety to everybody. Good show. First time watching you. Awesome. Thanks, Lisa. We appreciate it. We're here every night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. We post all the guests and everything on Instagram, Twitter, and on Facebook at Jim Masters TV. And then all of the shows are on YouTube at Jim Masters TV. My dear friend Kathleen, celebrating her Irish, getting her Irish on in New York City. Good to see you. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the interview as well. Willie, thank you. It was again great. And I'm so glad you stayed up. It's like 3 a.m. there in Holland, and you stayed with us. We love you, Willie. Kathy, you have a new fan, Jim. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And there you are. I see you with some of the Celtic Thunder guys. And Kathy, you spell your name exactly like my cousin Kathy does on the Irish side of our family. Good to see you, Kathy. So we got Kathy, we've got Kathleen, and wow, I can't believe this. This is, I want to acknowledge, I like to acknowledge the viewers. I'm very viewer-centric. I really appreciate that. You know, as a host, just like somebody on stage acknowledges the audience, I like to acknowledge my audience too. Jim, thank you so much for you having this Facebook Live for us. Love and appreciate you. My new place to feel at home. Jen is Zen. Shlanta. You've been saying that a lot, and that is so beautiful. That really touches me, Jennifer, that you have found these episodes that we do a place of Zen for you, a place of peace, solace, fun, entertainment, joy, levity. information, knowledge building, education. That's what I love. That's what I do as a host in my television and radio work, but that's who I am as a person, and I really love doing it. It's really cool to be able to do it with all of you. And again, I'm so happy and stoked that I created this show 12 weeks ago. It's a lot of work every day putting this together, all the information, the photos, and doing it all. But I love doing it for you guys, and your response, sharing the links and tagging everybody and telling everybody about the show and getting your friends and family to watch and following the show. That means so much. Love you all for doing that. Ruth Grant, a very excellent interview. Thank you, Ruth. I think I've interviewed, I calculated about 6,000 people on television and radio over the years. I've interviewed Damian multiple times on television, American television, on public television. And it was so nice that he hopped on my show and played for us and really opened up about his life. And I like to have it as a conversation, no rush, we're amongst friends. And even if it's somebody I'm meeting for the first time, I want to learn about them so you can learn about them. And we have a grand time together. And Danilo says, bring down the curtain of Liberty Hall. Have a wonderful night, everyone. We thank you very much, Tiffany. Good to see you as well, Tiffany. Tiffany was a guest. If you want to see the interview I did with Tiffany Lauren, she is a wonderful performer as well. She's a violinist. She's a wonderful Irish fiddler, and she was a guest on my show. She resides in the Windy City of Chicago, USA. Good to see you, Tiffany. Nice to see you here. And yes, you watched Sean Kanan on General Hospital. The actor Sean Kanan is going to be here Saturday night. He's all excited. Special guest. So guten night. I love that. And thank you for everything. My pleasure, Allison. I hope you're doing well. Levity is a cool word, isn't it? I created that by accident. It wasn't, I usually say this show is all about light, levity, and love. And one of the nights I was having fun and I misspoke and I said levity, and then everybody loved it. And we had the award-winning singer and songwriter Ann Hampton Calloway on, Broadway star and so much more. And she wrote a little jingle. Everybody wants to write jingles. And Snowman in the Morning. Hey, Brian, good to see you. Yo, Jim, watching on YouTube. Good to see you, Brian. It was awesome being on your show as well. And Orfino, thank you. You felt it. You felt the levity. That's perfect, Orfino. I hope you'll come back and watch our show again. Nice. Your hug. You felt the hug. Good. You got that hug. Smiles to Renee in Iowa tomorrow night. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be host chat night tomorrow. That's right. Great conversation. Thank you, Lisa. Great conversation tonight. Kathy. Rhonda says, hi, Jim, from Virginia Beach, Virginia. I love Virginia Beach. And I say hello to you there. You have such great conversations with all your guests. You're terrific. Thank you very much, Kathleen. I really appreciate that. Sherry is here, the wonderful Sherry. Nice to have you here. Loved my first time tuning in. We'll definitely be back. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you very much. We really appreciate that. And Renee, for all of you watching the show for the first time, please join us on Jim's other upcoming shows. Renee is a viewer who's been so supportive. She's also our official Jim Master Show Live Viewer of the Week. All week long, we're celebrating her. We pick a viewer who's been watching a long time, supportive, having watch parties, sharing the links, watching on YouTube, Facebook, and we celebrate them. I do that because I want to celebrate my viewers. And Renee in Iowa, USA is our Viewer of the Week. Anna says, thank you, Jim. Great show. My pleasure. I'm so glad you guys have enjoyed it. And thank you, Jim. Your first time, Anna Phelps. Well, you are very welcome, and it's my pleasure. And I want to show you something that I do at the end of every show. I tell everybody, be sure and relax, breathe. I do this at the end of every show. Breathe, relax, love one another, be good to one another, breathe from the diaphragm. Meditate if you can. We're living in some really interesting times, so hold tight. This too shall pass. Love all of you. Thanks so much for being a part of the shows. The last 12 weeks, we're really rolling along. The show's continuing to grow around the world. Tell your friends about our show and spread the word. Love the Facebook page at Jim Masters TV. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Same with Instagram and Twitter. But more importantly, relax. Listen to one another. Be kind. Be empathetic. And be good to one another and be good to yourself. That's something I've had to learn too. I'm always talking about telling everybody else to relax, but your friendly host here has had to learn to relax and to be good to himself too, as much as I'm saying be good to everybody else. And there was a great conversation about all of that with Damian tonight. I knew he and I were going to have a brilliant conversation tonight. And we had more time tonight than we normally do when we're on public television, because usually those are quick little, quick segments. So we had a wonderful, almost 2-hour conversation tonight. Another thing before we go, I do this too. I say I might be the host and the producer of this show, the Jim Masters Show Live, and the star of the show. But hey, I think every single one of you, you guys are the stars. You are the stars. It is my pleasure to have you here on the show with me on the Jim Masters Show Live. I toast all of you. All of your friends are here. George Burns says good night. Our cast of characters. Jeannie, I Dreamy Jeannie. Jeannie says good night to all of you as well. And Silver says good night. Silver from Switzerland. He sees all of you almost in 3D. It's kind of cool, right? He sees all of you. He greets you. He says good night, good night, good night. Again, this show is all about positivity, light, levity, and lovity. And of course, little Jimmy, he waves and he says good night as well. And one more toast to Willie in Holland. This is her 50th show. She gets up at 1 a.m. in Holland. It's now, I think, 3 a.m. in Holland. She's still with us. These are for you, Willie. You haven't missed a show. 50 shows. We've been on for much more than that, 12 weeks, but you've watched 50 shows consistently. And there she is. She says 3 a.m. now. I go to sleep. The alarm, 8 o'clock. Good night. Willie, you're a trooper. Have a great night. Rhonda, Jim, awesome. My first time. I love it. Thank you very much. Good night to you as well. Was so relaxing watching this show. Thank you, Mary Bishop. I appreciate those beautiful words. I hope you'll be back. We're here every night on YouTube at Jim Masters TV and Facebook Jim Masters TV with shows just like this and so much more. Love it. Good night to you, Rhonda. And good night to you, Kathy. Good night, Jim and friends. See you next time. We'll be here. We're here tomorrow night and every night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Good night, Mary. And this was another great show, Jim. Have a good night, everyone. Your 50th show as well. Well, congratulations. Wow, that's cool. Viewer of the week and your 50th show. Wow. You are really dedicated, Renee. You've been doing watch parties. You share the links. You tag. You tell everybody. You're very beautiful. And I really appreciate your doing that. I've noticed everybody who's doing that, and that moves my heart greatly. Abigail says, thank you for the show. And thank you. Well, you guys, I tell you, and Linda in Alabama, great to see so many new folks. I know we welcome everybody. I try to produce, I take a lot of my television background and I try to put on an entertaining, inspiring show, a show that maybe lifts your heart, puts a smile on your face, not only entertains you, but maybe informs you and moves you and leaves you thinking about life. And hopefully we do that here from the home studio at the Jim Masters Show Live. We have so many great guests coming up. We have so many entertaining shows happening for you. Tomorrow night, it's going to be host chat. Saturday night, it's going to be Sean Kanan, the incredible Hollywood actor, and so much more. This is your host, Jim Masters, thanking you for your time this time till next time. Again, one more time, we're here Saturday night as well. We're here tomorrow night. We're here every night at 7 p.m. Eastern. And again, if you would like to see this again, you can at our YouTube channel, which is Jim Masters TV, this entire episode and all the episodes. Again, if you want to see Chloe Agnew, Marie Nesbitt, the Harp Twins, Paul Green, so many great guests, Ellis Gage and Ann Hampton Calloway, and you name it. We have brilliant, brilliant guests we've had. And then there's a lot of shows where it's just us. I did a pop-up show last weekend where I didn't even tell the audience that I was going to be doing the show. And I just scheduled the show quickly, and it was all casual. And I had a cup of coffee in my hand, and we just chatted with the viewers from around the world. And I was only going to do it for like, 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes tops. So many people saw that I was online. We talked with the audience and had a conversation with them for an hour and a half. It was incredible. And it always feels like it's not that long. It always feels like, my God, it's like 20 minutes. It feels like we only did this for 20 minutes. And we've been doing it for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Originally, when I created this series, this talk show series, we were going to do this for only 1 hour. I figured, an hour is enough of people's time. But these shows have been going an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, because we have so much fun. I have so much fun with you guys. You seem to have a lot of fun. And the guests love it too. The guests have just been really enjoying it. So it's cool. It's really, really cool. So love you all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the love, the comments, you guys. I like to show the guests the comments too. And I showed Damian a lot of these comments. Thank you, Donna Sanders. Great to have you here. Lisa, thank you as well. Renee, terrific. Donna, great show. First time seeing it. Thank you very much. Hope you'll be back. Kathleen Walker in New York City, USA. Thank you as well. Well, that's a wrap. We love all of you. We say thank you very much for joining us. And again, we thank one more time, we'll thank our great guest, my dear friend, Damian McGinty. Check him out on his websites and all, and for his new music. And again, I really appreciate him sharing that world exclusive song with us here for the first time. It's not even out yet. That song that you heard was not even available to the public yet. Really cool that he shared it with us. Linda in Florida. Good night, Mr. Levity. Good night to you, Linda. It's a pleasure having you here. Love all of you. All right, we're going to wrap up. I have an ice cream cone waiting for me. I do. I really do. And it's still in the freezer, so it's not melting yet. By now, under these hot lights, it would have melted by now. But we're going to have an ice cream cone. I hope you have a great rest of your night. If you're just starting your day, good day. Have a beautiful day. And we will see you tomorrow right here on the Jim Masters Show Live. If this is your first time watching us, thank you very much. We welcome you. This is just a little taste of what we do here on our show every night. Good night, everybody. Love you all from all around the world. You're a blessing. You be well. You stay safe. Take care. And we'll see you tomorrow night. I'll be here. I hope you are too. Good night.